I was thinking today about the idea of it doesn't hurt to ask. It's a common saying in America that it doesn't hurt to ask. You're not harming anybody just by asking a question and having a request, because they could always deny you. And I think back to Japan when I asked for early check-in, and it was an awful lot of effort to get it. It was like only 10 minutes I had to wait, or as you could say, only 10 minutes that, why don't they just let me check in? And I think the concept in Japan is that you want to be polite, right? You want to tell people about, what's going on. You want to be fair. And so if they give you early check-in, are they obligated to give everybody early check-in? Or what are they going to do about it? And I think that, when you look back and you think about it, what exactly is fairness? What exactly is one supposed to do about this whole concept of it's only asking, it's only a request, no obligation associated with it? So, in the hospital recently, I've been telling a lot of people all I could do is ask. But the thing is, when I ask as a doctor, it's a little bit more than a nurse asking or a patient asking, right? Because I just have more weight to it, right? It's like if the president asks you for something, is it the same as a random guy on the street asks you for something? I'm pretty sure it isn't, right? So there's this whole concept of a zero-sum game. It means that all things added together end up totaling zero or the same thing. So if one person gets more, somebody gets less. And even though many people think of resources in the world as being unlimited, right? Nobody's going to say time is unlimited. Time is limited. That much is obvious. And the thing we know is, in a hospital, in the world, everywhere else, is people don't have all the time in the world, right? So if you're taking up their time, that means they have less time for somebody else. And in hospitals, this becomes very apparent. Because if I take the physical therapist time and spend more on my patient, that means somebody else's patient, somebody else gets shafted. Because the therapist still has to go home at the end of the day. If they work extra, they're not getting paid for it. That's zero or negative money for them, if you will, right? Free overtime, right? They're getting shafted. At the end of the day, somebody's getting shafted. Somebody's getting less time. Somebody's getting the short end of the stick. And so I've been talking to patients and saying, look, here's the deal, right? You could make more of a fuss, right? I'll tell you how to make a fuss, as in be very polite about it, how to be nice to people. But if you get more time, it's taken away from somebody else, unfortunately. But that's just life. There simply isn't enough for it to go around. And it's sad, right? So, in certain cases like Japan, as an American, at least I would say, it's just silly. This room's being unused, it doesn't matter, right? I know it's hard to make a distinction between the guy coming in 3 hours early and a guy coming in 15 minutes early, in a sense that if you have black and white rules, they're all the same, right? You're coming in early. But practically speaking, we do understand it's a little bit different, right? And if the room's clean, it doesn't hurt anybody, right? But in the case of the US, right, we're really talking about limited resources, limited time. And I realize in the medical field more than ever, you have to know how to advocate for yourself, how to speak up, how to, in a sense, be the greasy wheel. Otherwise, you'll never get that grease, or you will rarely get that grease. Everybody's time is limited. Zero-sum game. You take it for yourself. You're taking away from somebody else. Not everybody could have the last piece of cake. But if you do want it, you're going to have to do something about it, unfortunately.